How's it going, traders? How are you guys?
Always good to see your smiling face, Jimmy, and know I'm in the right place.
Yes, yes.
Hey, Jimmy.
I'm very smiley today. It's been a great day. It's been a great day. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys. There he's Joe. Hey. Let's see. I believe David's here. Maybe waiting on him. Duke's ready to kill it. I'm super excited for your presentation tonight. Yeah, always enjoy when you're able to share some knowledge, and appreciate you dedicating the time to not only learn more, but yeah, to grace us with some some trading techniques and skill. So I think we're in for a good one tonight, everybody. And let's see here, and then we'll kind of let you, if you're ready, sir, Duke. Yeah, let you have the mic and take it away.
Sure.
And I know that you've been trading for quite some time. Sorry, for the people that maybe this is new first time here. Yeah, maybe just a quick synopsis of your experience.
Yeah, so for me, I've been trading for probably 3 to 4 years now. I started out learning from Online Trading Academy, and it's very expensive.
They are, yeah, they are. But they have some good things, yeah.
Yeah, so basically learning the basics, which is support and resistance. And then still had trouble with it, it didn't seem to work. And then all the instructors were just hindsight. And I was like, are they really real? I see the trades, and then they would never share it. They'll never share it live. So then I was like, oh, these are the real folks,
Yeah.
And so eventually, I don't know, maybe because I was searching for things, I found a different scalper, Heiken Ashley trader. He's a German trader. And probably because of Google search and stuff, I found 8 because of that, since Sean is a scalper.
Yes, sir.
So after that, I saw David at the time. I knew he was doing the marketing for 8 but actually I quit. I quit trading because I kept losing.
Sure, yeah.
And priorities change and things like that. But eventually I learned some things, invested into live coaching, certified coaching, and I learned some things. And I asked, if I had all the money and time in the world that I wanted, would I be trading? And then the answer was yes. I wanted to manage my own money. I didn't want it to be in someone else's hands. So then I got back into trading, and that's when I found David again. And I was like, oh, when did he start teaching? And I started watching his videos and everything. And the initial videos, I actually didn't like them. I was like, I don't really like the guy.
But he's got one of those faces. No, is he here? I don't think so. So we can talk about him. He's not here to defend us.
It's okay. But I watched him after a while, and I joined the Discord channel. I saw him live, and actually, I was like, hey, I like him. He actually is pretty good.
Really good. Yeah, he's I think a unique outlook, right? And so, yeah, he's definitely helped me a lot. Yeah. Great.
So for me, this time around, I'm fully committed. So I basically put almost full-time equivalents into trading and into learning and also teaching and paying it forward.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Just like what David says, hey, the fastest way to learn is to teach it. My life coaching teaches the same thing.
Yeah.
That's why I instruct every night, live night trading, because that's the fastest way to improve yourself. Okay.
I love it. You really have helped us with both evening and AM trading. Really appreciate it. And so yeah, I'm ready because I know that I need some help with my trades today. So awesome. I think you able to share. So
all right. So I'll start the presentation here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's the missing key to being a consistently profitable trader in any market, right? Because many of y'all are still not there yet. And I live in Texas, so I say y'all, which is you all. But Texans say y'all.
Yes, sir.
And this is the key. Okay, so if you know what it is, then now you can start to unlock it. Okay. So give you some basic understanding first, which is this right here. This is you. Okay. I put it as a
That
square.
does look like me.
All the different genders and stuff like that. So, and there's a reason later. I'll explain why it's a square face. Okay. And this is where you're at. You're stuck. That's why you're feeling squared, because you're stuck in a box and you can't seem to progress. You're making progress and then nope, failure, right?
Mm.
But this is, you're stuck in that box, right? This is where you're at, and this is what you have. This is also your comfort zone, okay? And you seem to have some losing trades. Then sometimes you have some profitable trades. And then you have some losing equity. And then you don't seem to have enough time you put into trading, right? Or learning or whatever, right? And you don't seem to have enough experience, right? And you're just stuck, you're struggling in the range market, okay? And then you struggle in the trend markets. It's just like, man, everything's against you.
This is not the sharp profile we want to have, right?
No, it's identifying the current situation, right? And up here in the green is what you want. You want to be consistently profitable, right? You want a growing equity, right? You want to have enough time now. So let's say with David, in the 4X, you trade 1 hour a day and then you're done. So you got plenty of time, right? You want to have enough experience with the trading, right? You want to be profitable in a range market. You want to profit in trend markets. And overall, you want to profit in any market, right? But what's in the middle? You know, why can't you seem to get what you want, right? Because this is, overall, this is the definition of success, right? When you have what you want, you're successful. Would y'all agree with that?
I would agree. Yeah.
Can't seem to see the chat, so let me.
Oh, yep. I'll get you here. Definitely.
All right. So in the middle is what you don't want, okay? Losing trades. And it's the worst market for your trading, right? And it's all the failure, okay? So that's what seems to stop you. And that's what we're trying to help you overcome here tonight. All right. Anyone excited about that? That you can overcome your failures now and what you don't want and actually get what you want?
Yes, that's what we need. Not just what we want, but what we need.
Well, you still got to understand some things, right? Which is you got to understand the problem first. And the way I like to explain things, I use analogies to explain it.
Nice.
Okay? So here, you know, this is where you're at. In the middle is what you don't want and the failures, right? So you got some profitable trades, right? But then you feel losing and then you start to lose again, right? And then you put some more practice, you put some more experience, you put some more time, and then you're doing better again, right? And then you drop again. You just seem to struggle those range markets. And look at that, the arrows look like a range. Okay. Then you do some improvements, okay? You improve your analysis, you get better at 1, 2, 3s, like understanding trend, bias, things like that. You get better trade positions and entries, better exits. But then you're also afraid to load heavy when it really goes against you, okay? And you just seem to lose again, right? Again, you're now improving. You start posting in the 1% club, right? The daily 1% or the 4X. But then this happens. You're on the wrong side of a marching market and you seem to lose big. Okay.
Stubbornness on my part.
Yeah. Again, you just seem to be stuck again. It's like, come on, why?
Well, I'm always hitting this resistance.
Yeah. Right. You're just really, really stuck. And then you just feel frustrated. So you're no longer square, but now you're just a red face and really, really angry. You're wanting to give up kind of thing.
Yep.
So that's the problem. Agree? But now, what's the process? Okay, how's the process to overcome it? And this is where I give an analogy. Okay, so here you have some dye, some blue dye, and a glass of water. If you add dye to it, right, it's going to turn the water blue. Okay. So if this is your cup of water and it's full of, it's already dyed, it's already blue. Well, if you add more dye, that's the cause, right? What happens? It's going to get darker. Right? I'll get to the point of explaining what this means in a few slides. But now, if this is where you start and you add water, what happens? What happens if you add water to a cup that's already dyed?
The dye dilutes, right?
It's
That dilutes. It starts becoming clearer, right? It gets lighter, exactly. But this is where a lot of y'all are at. Here's a cup of water, and you're just stirring it around. Okay, you're just stirring it around, and you're like, it's not getting darker, it's not getting lighter.
I'm treading.
It's gonna be the same color, right? There's no change to the cause, right? You're not adding dye, you're not adding water. So then what do you get? The same color.
The same cause. The same. Yep.
That looks a little dark.
You're not gonna change the cause, you're not gonna change the reaction, right?
Agree.
If you want the reaction to change, then you have to change the cause. Does that make sense? This is just a scientific formula, which is cause.
Cause and effect. Cause and effect.
Yes, cause and effect. Okay. So now I'm going to explain what all these means. Okay, this is the reaction, literally. And I put it meaning repeat. You're repeating the actions, but you don't seem to change the results. Okay, so this is now the trading insanity, which is why can't you seem to get better results? You want better results, but you kept getting the same results over and over and over, right? And here's your current state with the blue dye. So the blue in this case is representing the things you do not want, right? Or it's the current state, which is a mix, because it's a mix of blue dye, things you do not want, and then water, which is the things that you want. So you have some profitable trades, but then you also have some losing trades, okay? You have some losing equity, right? Yeah, you don't have enough time, or you don't have enough experience, you're struggling, right? It seems to be more the negatives because the water is blue, right?
And we're trying to get it clear. We need good drinking water.
But this is what happens though. It's getting darker. This is the stuff that you don't want, which is the things like you lose more trades, you risk out, you don't know what to do, right? Or it's the things that you hate, right? You think about what you hate, or it's your failures, or you think about wasted effort. Okay, it's the worst market for you to trade. You have a bunch of fear, you're struggling with it, you're feeling frustrated, right? You have doubts about things, or you feel embarrassed, you don't want to post your negative trades or losing trades. And that's all it seems to do is it gets worse and worse and worse. Okay. Now with the water, when it comes clearer, this is the things that you do want, which is the profitable trades, the growing equity, to be able to post more in the 1% club, right? Have enough time, have an experience, profit in a range market, profit in a trend market. This is the stuff that you want. And ultimately you want a clear cup of water. Okay, but it becomes clearer, it becomes lighter. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Positive makes it lighter, right? Yep.
And this is where you're stuck though. And the reaction. You're just stirring things around and it can't seem to change the results. Okay?
Taking trades at top of price cycles, for example, last night.
Yeah. So this is where you attend and watch the hot seat training, and then you're like, man, these hot seaters are putting me to sleep. What? All I see is them losing. Or you like, oh, that was a really good hot seat. Okay, so it's a mix,
Mhm.
but it doesn't seem to change the results. Then you practice in simulator, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm really profitable in simulator, but I keep losing in real life. What's this? What's this? What is this? Then you do more live trading, but then again, you profit and some you lose. Okay, you improve your analysis, right? You're like, you recognize a 0, 1, 2, 3. You recognize when it's a range market, when it's a ride the wave market, right? Or it's a marching market. But again, you also have mistakes in your analysis. Okay. Changing trading platforms, instead of Alveo with more restrictions and 1 to 10 leverage, now you're using MT5, and you're using prop firms, free trials, or even paid ones, right? 1 to 100 leverage. And it still doesn't seem to improve things, right? You're trying all these things, right? You're even trying the caddies, right? Or the EAs, the bots, Talon or Anubis. And some of y'all win, like Nick Spicer won, was it last month? And then the very next month is like, oh, still lost.
Yep, we're happy for Nick.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then you're trying now different strategies. Oh, okay, I need a counter trend and build against it, right? Or, hey, I need to build with the position and do the ride the wave. Or, hey, I need to do the fractals. You're trying all these different strategies, right? And again, none of the results seem to change. You're still stuck, okay? You try opening different size accounts now. Like a $10,000 account, 1% is not moving the needle, right? And so like Brandon, now you're trading $1 million account and 1% is really moving the needle. Or maybe you're doing a 100K account, but again, it doesn't seem to change the results. You're getting mixed results. Then you try like the boot camps with trading on the street, okay? Or you even try doing the coaching, like the hot seat or the fast track, okay? But overall, you're still stuck. Why is that?
No more being stuck.
Like, it's David's fault. I can't see him. I'm not improving.
He's pulling us out of that being stuck, out of the muck, right?
Or then you're like, no, it's Talon's fault. It got me too heavy. It closed all of my trades, or whatever, right?
And I think that most of our traders have done, if not all of these things, majority of them, right? And so, Glenn's
funny comment.
Yes, sir. Don't understand how Duke got access to my journal.
You sure it wasn't my journal?
I think it's relatable, right? We've all experienced, like I said, majority of these things, not all, right? And doing those things.
Okay.
What's the answer, sir?
Well, here's the problem.
Yep.
You have not changed the cause. You have not even identified what the real cause is. You think it's the trading strategies. It's not it. Like today, I was in a trading room with Kevin Prime. He's another instructor, and he was sharing. Someone approached him, paid him money to be a coach, and say, "Here's my trading strategy. Tell me what I need to fix." And Kevin was like, "Well, it's actually a really good trading strategy. There's nothing wrong with it, but the problem is you." And the guy was actually pissed off.
Sure.
Like, I'm paying you money to tell me what's wrong with my trading strategy. That's what he was expecting. And Kevin was like, there's nothing wrong with your trading strategy. Okay, but after a few weeks of coaching, he was like, oh, wow, you really hit the ball, you really got it correct.
That makes sense.
So what I'm hopefully trying to help you identify here is the cause. And
Right.
Kevin talks about this too. Okay, the real cause and what you really need to fix. All right. Because if you change the cause, this is what you got to do. Change your words. You change your thoughts and you change your attitude. That's the real cause. It's not your trading strategy. It's not the range market. It's not the caddies. It's not the platform. Okay. It's not the prop firms. It's not the coach. Those are all reactions. The cause is you. It's your thoughts, it's your words, and your attitude. Okay, so this is the missing key. All right. So here's a different picture and how to explain it. So this is the whole situation, right? So at the bottom here, that's where you're at. Can't see my mouse here. Okay, you're stuck. In between is what you don't want, and up the top is what you want, right?
Especially the profit in any market.
Yeah. So
Yes,
you're
sir.
doing these things. You're attending and watching the hot seat trading, right? You're doing practice in simulators. You're doing the live trading. You're doing the trading strategies, identify it, define it, refine it, all that stuff. You're doing the trading boot camps, any kind of education or courses. You even get a trading mentor or coach. You attend and you're asking questions and all that. But why is it that you can't seem to get what you want? It's because of this. The moment you try to do these things, then you face and you're fearing losing. You fear failure. You hate losing, right? You struggle in range markets, in trend markets, right? You're struggling with identifying when the market reverses, right? You fear the risk out. You're just frustrated with your results. You go too heavy too soon. You make repeated mistakes. Everything about it is going against you. And this is like the range market where it just won't break out. The market pushes up and then it gets rejected. It gets pushed down, right? It goes up another time, gets pushed down again. Goes up another time, pushed down again. It just won't break. And it's attempted to break this thing 10 different times and it still won't break. It's a major support and resistance.
It's a major one. And I really like how you outlined it here, because it seems, with every negative thought or action or reaction, there's multiple, or it's twice as much as the positive, right?
Exactly.
Pushing it down.
So you're not going to break it.
Right.
Okay. You're not going to break it this way. All right. But now let's change it. Let's change the middle area. Okay. You're going to learn from your losses. You're going to be motivated by failure. Okay. You're going to improve now in the range market. You're going to improve in the trend market. You're going to recognize those reversals, right? You're going to manage your risk. You're going to know when and where to load. You're going to adapt from your mistakes. See, if you change it around, there's no more resistance. And now this is like the marching market, where it just doesn't seem to stop. It goes all in one direction and that's it. There's no down arrows. This is like the 0, 1, 2, 3 now for the ride of the wave. It just pops and it doesn't come back. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have to enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. Okay? And this is how you're going to reach what it is you want, which is to be consistently profitable and profit in any market, right? And have enough time, have enough experience, and a growing equity curve. Okay? You have to remove what you don't want by changing your words, thoughts, and attitudes. All right? And so I'm going to repeat it, because here you're going to be happy now because there's no more resistance, right? You got to remove what you don't want by changing your words, thoughts, and attitude. And that is the key. That is the missing key. Okay, I'm going to say it again. 3rd time's the charm. Remove what you don't want by changing your words, thoughts, and attitude. Okay, so this is you changing the cause, because this is what's you don't want. And you're going to change it to what you can accept and then enjoy. Okay. So if you're fearing, everybody has fear. Well, what's the opposite of fear?
Confidence, bravery,
Confidence, courage.
courage. Yep.
I think it was Henry Ford, or I don't remember who said it. He said, courage is not the absence of fear, but acting in spite of fear. Okay. If you don't have any fear, that's not courage. Okay. But if you do have the fear and you still act, then you do have courage. Okay. If you make mistakes, well, everyone's going to be bound to make mistakes, right? Well, what can you do? What's the opposite of that? You learn from it. It's not happening to you, right? It's happening for you so that you can learn for it. If you identify what you hate, like I was saying, I hate range markets. Well, David called me out in one of the hot seat sessions. Okay.
And you're able to recognize that, like, gosh, you know, and I was curious, you know, as far as like any specifics that you could recommend for maybe changing your words. Like, what do you do? How do you, I guess, give yourself that moment of clarity to be able to say, gosh, you know what, I'm doing that, right? And I need to change my words.
You just have to be aware of it first.
Mm-hmm.
Notice what you're saying. Have someone call you out on it.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you say you hate range market, well, focus on what you love, which is the opposite. Because if you hate range markets, well, guess what? That's what you're going to keep seeing.
Right? Those trade gods will give it to you every time the market you don't want to see.
Yeah. So either you can learn to improve and love range markets, or you say, I love trend markets. And you will start to find and see when it's a trend market.
And
When
embrace
it's a
it.
range market, you just don't trade it.
I think if I get it wrong, one of the things I'm going to do is push-ups. I still get lost. I call it wrong, and I start saying those words. Push-ups, you know, something to give me that clarity and remind me, because I hate working out, right? So,
Well,
yeah.
don't focus on saying you hate working out.
Oh yeah, I love working out. See, there you go. See, yeah.
But if you say you love working out, then you're going to fake yourself out. You're not going to love it.
Right. I like the benefits, right? That it'll do.
Exactly.
So
You
try to
say
focus
you
on
love
that.
being healthy. You love having, some six-pack abs.
Yeah. Right. And
then,
yeah, and I did it just that
the
quick,
workout
right?
part, you'll actually begin to enjoy it, because many of the folks that I've talked to originally hated exercise, but after they got used to it and they saw the results, they love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see how fast I did it too, just subconsciously, right? I had those bad words.
I'll give you an example. I'll be like, I hate doing taxes. Anyone who actually love doing taxes? Maybe it's
But
okay.
I definitely I like that. Changing that, whether it be like that routine or reminding yourself, seems like it's definitely key for
Yeah. So I flip
avoiding.
it around now. So let's say with taxes, right? I say I love getting money back, because if you know that if you do your taxes, you get money back, then you'll love finishing it. Okay, but let's say you actually do have to pay taxes, then you can say I love getting taxes out of the way. I love being done with it and not having to think about it, and then you'll get it done faster. Does that make
And I
sense?
learned from that experience, right? Hopefully, I can do my next year's taxes better.
Exactly.
Yep.
But because if you say you hate it, you're facing resistance. But if you focus on what you love, there's no resistance. It's going in your favor now. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Well, let's say with trading, you hate losses. And many of y'all are just focusing on that. Of course, everyone hates losses. But what's the positive? What would I love? Ask yourself that. I love profiting. So for me, I say I love profiting from Forex trading. I love being consistently profitable. And I became more of it. Okay? Whereas before, when I said I hate losing, I kept losing and losing and losing, and I kept risking out. If you ask who is the biggest loser in the group, I can tell you, you can't beat me. I am the number one loser in the group. Okay?
We're handing the trophies out later for this.
And this is what David called me out for. I said I struggle with range markets. But the moment you say you struggle, you've given up. But what is it the opposite? I can improve in range markets. Okay, so I said I would love to improve in range markets, or say I want to improve on I want to improve on range markets, or I am improving on, not just I want
like
to.
it's good to be detailed as possible with your words.
Yeah, but you want to say something that you believe. Okay, so let's say you're not improving yet, then you start with I want to improve. And then as you can see the improvement, then you say I am improving. It's a stronger one, okay?
Love it. Strength in the words.
Exactly. And at one point I was telling David, wow, I can actually say I love range markets. And he was like, what?
Did you say that?
Yeah. But at some point, you can flip it around, okay? And if, let's say, you're out of control, like for me, I have too fast of a finger. And William even did this, like, I had too many trades. Well, focus on what you can control. Okay, you can't control the market, right? But what can you can control? When to load up your buys or sells in the market, when to trade, or when to just stay out. You can control you. You cannot control the market, right? So ask yourself, what can I change? What can I change? And if you're going to fail, most people think of failure as you're failing backwards. Okay. But John Maxwell wrote a book. It's called Failing Forward. That's the opposite. You're going to fail your way forward. Albert Einstein, right? 10,000 experiments before he could master the light bulb and get it working. But he never thought he failed. When other people thought
Not Einstein. That's not Einstein.
Well, what's that?
Connect
Right? Edison.
with the ball.
Edison,
Well,
sorry,
Edison.
Edison.
Thank you, referee Pete.
I had the right E, but
Mhm.
good correction. But he fell for it, right?
Einstein is relativity.
Relativity, yeah. So Edison, he invented it, or technically he didn't invent it. He just perfected it. Okay.
Michael Jordan, Pete says.
Latin more bring up the type of wire required.
The current, right?
Hey, when Pete's refereeing a basketball game, half the people think he's wrong every time he blows the whistle.
Because
I'm the same way. I know that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's I don't think he's throwing games. Maybe he is. I don't know.
Well, Pete, you're causing us to be frustrated, right? Since you're refereeing and calling those. But guess what? Everyone's bound to feel that at some point. But the market doesn't cause you to be frustrated. Okay? You're in control of your emotions. You chose to be frustrated. That's the real cause. So choose to remain calm instead. Okay? And I have to practice this with my kids. Because when you have kids screaming in the background, right?
You've been in my house.
Okay. But just because the kids are screaming, you don't have to be frustrated. You can choose and practice to remain calm.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. Exactly. Okay. The cause is you. But if something else external is causing you to feel an emotion, okay, and you say it's because of something else, it's the reaction.
Means that you're not in control. That thing controls you.
Exactly. You're basically a thermometer. It's hot outside and you're hot. Okay.
You need to be the thermostat. You
Exactly.
control the temperature.
It's hot outside and you're cool. You remain cool.
You be the thermostat.
Yes. So become the thermostat. Okay. The things that you don't want, well, flip it around. What is it that you want? Ask it. What is it that I want? And then that's how you begin to list out your affirmations. What is it that I want instead? Okay. So here's the key. You are the cause of your reactions and your results. Many of y'all are changing externals, such as coaching, the platforms. You're changing the reaction. You're just stirring around same results because you have not identified the cause, which is you, your words, your thoughts, and your attitude. Change your words, thoughts, and attitudes to what you would want or what you would love, and you will begin to see better results because you're now adding more water. You're beginning to get clearer. You're gaining clarity. Okay? And that glass of water now doesn't have anything of the blue dye. All right? Like if you ask David, when was the last time he lost in a day? And it'll be months apart, weeks apart. Why? Because he's focused on profits. See, he's focused on what he wants. Does that make sense? If he doesn't like the market, he just doesn't trade it. Once he sees the market and he's like, ooh, this is good. I want to trade it. You see, I want to profit. And he's able to get it out because he has learned to change the cause. You don't hear him say, I struggle with this. Okay. Sometimes you hear him say, I hate certain things.
I think we all do, right?
The thing is, he doesn't trade in those markets. Why are you trading in those markets if you hate it? You're putting yourself into failure. It's like you have sabotaged yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and you're focusing on things that you can control, right? And I think that's a really big takeaway for me, because I got to thinking about the Talon. I used Talon last night, but I didn't update to the new version, and it got buggy and there were a bunch of trades. And at first, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But then I started recognizing, hey, I can control this by making sure that I'm checking for updates, right, and making sure they're in there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's what happened to me last
control
night.
those things we can control, right?
Yeah, he put on about 50 trades behind one another for in one of my accounts.
So great when it goes for you, right? But yeah.
But it didn't go in my
Yeah.
favor. He just kept putting on. I said, what's going on in this? It's going crazy.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
Control
for
it.
me, example is I got too heavy too soon. So I reduced my position size. Okay. And I still put on like 30 trades in 1 second. So what did I do? I learned control. I said every 30 seconds, I'll put on 1 to 2 trades. That's it.
And you broke it down into a time frame, right? I like that. That's smart.
But I learned to control myself. See? And that's all it is. You control yourself, your words, your thoughts, your attitude, which then leads to your actions. Okay. You're now controlling your actions. All right. And that's the cause. And this is how you will now reach the consistently profitable, is by thinking and what is it you want and love. So you love trend markets, trade trend markets. Okay. If you hate range markets, flip it. Say, I want to improve in range markets, and use a demo account. Use a simulator account. Allow yourself to fail, because now you're saying, I'm learning from. Okay. But why are you going to trade the worst market? Like if you struggle with range markets, why are you going to trade in a real live account that you care about? You have set yourself up for failure, because now you're saying, oh, the market caused me to do it. No, you cause yourself. You see, if you focus on what you can control and what you want, you're going to get more consistently profitable. Does that make sense? Hopefully these are some, real life examples. So what's in that blue water?
Yeah. Where are we at there?
All the things you don't want, because the blue dye it's like the polluted water, right? The things that you focus on that makes you frustrated, you're struggling, okay? You want the clear water, because if you want to be able to see the market and just, wow, how did I execute so perfectly? That's It takes clear water, right? It takes clarity.
Those winds, those little winds.
That's why I use water and clear water, right? As an example, because that's your clarity. And that you can see your target of what you want with nothing in between blurring it out. Okay, you could see it with focus. You could see it so clearly. Okay.
Laser beam focus on what you want and those steps to get there, right? The smaller steps. And maybe I'll just before we start the Q&A, but was wondering, is there a specific kind of process that you've found, or like routine, or how do you recognize, again, we mentioned taking control, but what are some other things that I guess tactics that you might do to help avoid those obstacles, right? Whether it's learning more, right? So if I say I want to get better in arranging market, is there anything specific that you have found that kind of works for you to help you improve in arranging market, right? Videos, you mentioned demo count. I was wondering if there's anything, any special key to the key.
That's a good example. So for me, I had struggled with the ranging market, and I was like, I hate ranging markets. I suck at it, right? I was saying all these disempowering words. My attitude towards range market was bad, negative. It was holding me back.
Yep, I feel you.
Okay, so that's the pushing down kind of thing. And so David called me out, and that was my biggest aha moment in that hot seat. Okay, so he just said, well, change it. Say, I want to improve in range markets, right? And so I started doing that. So if I'm using my simulators, I'm looking for range markets. If I'm live trading, I'm looking for range markets because I want to improve it. And then I was like, oh my God, everything is like a range market. I see this range, I see this range, I see this range. It's like everywhere now. Whereas before, I was looking for trend markets. So I really look for the high highs or the lower lows, things like that. And I just wouldn't see those ranges. I wouldn't see those areas where I could, counter trend, build a position, and really profit.
Tunnel vision, kind of, right?
Yeah. Okay. Of course, I failed in the beginning, but I failed in simulated accounts, and then I failed in demo accounts. But see, if you're fearing failure, you're not going to be able to improve. So in this case, I said, I welcome failure. I embrace failure. I'm going to learn from my failures. I'm going to fail forward. See, so because I accepted it, welcome it, I invited it. Okay. And then I was like, okay, how do I do it faster and more often? I can teach on it. Okay. So several times in night classes, well, I failed. You know what? It's very hard to fail in front of a class. It's not easy. But guess what? I can learn from it. See, so if my attitude is I hate failing in front of class, I'm going to go backwards, and I'm either going to stop doing classes, or I'm just going to stop trading. Because why? It's resistance. Yeah, if you don't think you're going to win, why are you going to go? And that's what it is. And so many of y'all, you're looking at all the resistance, and then you quit. Okay. So for me, when I look at it, I'm like, okay, I fell in front of class. I'm like, great. I'm going to increase the pain, because with more pain, there's more growth. Without pain, there's no growth. No pain, no gain.
That's right.
Right?
No pain, no gain.
You think about muscle builders, right? Yeah, if you think about like a muscle builder, they lift, let's say, 50 pounds. Their muscles have grown. And now 50 pounds is light. They're not going to grow. So what do? They have to increase the weights. They lift now 100 pounds. As their muscles, feel that stretch kind of thing, they grow. Their muscles grow. And the next thing is, okay, 100 pounds is now light. What do they do now? They up it. Okay, so this is what Debbie talked about last week. Hey, start with something that's easy for you. $25 a day. But you're not going to grow once you get to that. So what did she do? She upped it a little bit, $50 a day, a little bit of pain, but not breaking pain. Does that make sense? So if you can't lift 50 pounds and you go and try to lift 200 pounds, you're going to be like, oh, I'm so weak. No one
Break your back too.
can't jump like
Won't
that.
be good. Will not be good.
Okay. Oh, Josh. Yes, it's about form, but the muscles themselves needs that pain, that burn before it can grow. Okay.
Agreed. Just like learning how to trade in your own risk management box, for example.
Exactly.
You're
Right.
gonna have that pain, right? Of losing funds.
So let's say if 25% or 0.25% is easy for you in 1 hour, now you push the limit a little bit. Can you do 0.5%? You push it again. Can you do 1%, in an hour? Can you do 2% in an hour? Okay. And at some point, you want to know when to just quit. And don't risk too much. So yes, Josh, it is proper form. I agree with that. Okay. But it takes both. Okay.
I agree.
Because let's say if you lifting, like let's say where your max is 200 pounds and all you lift is 50 pounds, your muscles not going to really grow. You can keep your shape with 50-pound light, but you're not going to grow the muscles. Okay.
Right.
And so with learning, you have to push your limits a little bit, which is fail on purpose. Okay. If you look at, let's say athletes, if they can run a marathon, let's say, or run a mile, and they want to win a race, they have to push themselves to run it faster. So each time it's like the muscles are going to hurt. Does that make sense? You push yourself to the limit to where it's going to hurt a little bit.
Those milestones, right? Hitting those milestones.
Exactly. But then once you get used to it, you're actually really fast,
I've never been fast, but yeah, I get it. But I will be faster.
Yeah. So the process is, yes, you have mentors, you do the simulators, right? You do the live tradings, you teach, okay? So that's part of the process. But that's on the reaction side. That's the external side. The cause is versus you. So you change your words, thoughts, and attitudes and make sure that when you do the process, you're not resisting it. Like with the exercise, for example, right? If you say, I hate exercise, you're not going to be doing exercise for long. But if you think about what you want, such as, you want the results, or after you exercise, you have energy. Okay. So like what example, when I get up in the mornings, all right, if you didn't get enough sleep and you're like, oh, I don't have the energy, I don't want to get up. You're going to be crawling out of bed and you're going to be lacking energy. Does that make sense? But just flip it around and say, well, what is it I want? You know what? I would love to have some energy. I would love to be excited about the day. I would love to enjoy my day. I would love to be jumping out of bed. I'm thinking about energy. And then next thing you know, I can actually hop right out of bed. Okay. So rather than thinking I don't have the energy to get out of bed, now I actually have the energy. Okay.
I used to say I really liked orange juice, right? I love orange juice. And so that's a reward for getting up on time or early when you need to.
Yeah, exactly. So think about if you like coffee in the morning. Well, hey, enjoy having a cup of coffee. And when you're thinking about the things you like, you'll hop out of bed and then you'll enjoy your cup of coffee. You see? So it's the psychology of you going into your trading. And this is what Kevin talks about. You really need to pay attention to your state, your state of mind, your state of like, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? What's your attitude? Because if you say, oh, I really hate this market, you're probably going to lose. You've just set yourself up to lose. Okay. But if you say, oh, I recognize it's a marching market. Great. This is a good opportunity, easy market to trade. And now you can actually win. You can pull out, your $25, $50, $100 pretty easily. Does that make sense? And
Yeah,
if you
it's that snowball effect.
recognize those reversals, hey, you know what? I know when to take my trades and take my profits. Then you'll begin to maximize your profits.
And those are great days when we can say that.
Right.
And those are great days. Yeah.
Okay. So the process is not just what you do, right? Like the simulators, the hot seat, the live trading, the teaching. That's part of the process. But your words, thoughts, and actions is also part of the process, and it's the cause of your results. Okay. Because if you are adding water and then you stir it, it's going to get clearer faster. Does that make sense?
Sure. I don't know if I might have cut out just for a sec, but yeah, it's a snowball effect, right? The 25.25 to the 50, right? To the 1%.
Yeah. And just build on it, and keep reinforcing the things that you like. Okay. Because if you keep reinforcing it, that's like the buys keep marching, and you keep, it's like buying pressure is really strong. It just won't drop.
Sure.
That's how you're going to get what you want, though. Is stop resisting and thinking about everything that you don't want. Okay. Flip it around. Accept it. Enjoy the process. Okay. So many of y'all would, let's say you attend the live training, but then you're like, oh, but I'm so tired from it, because maybe the hour is not that great, right? You have work, or you have to stay up, if you're in an international country. Find something you can enjoy instead. Which, well, if you can't attend it live, can you watch it? Can you watch a recording? Can you do something instead? What is it that you are in control of? So if you can't ask David, can you ask someone else? Can you find a trading buddy, right? Or can you ask the group and then have them respond? Does that make sense? Figure out
those resources. Yeah.
Right? Figure out what you can do and what you would enjoy doing.
And I did a screenshot of all the things that I was, the negative things, right? The things that are putting the dye in the water. And I'm dedicating, making it a goal to find at least one thing or two things for each of those support and resistance, or resistance, right? Because they're stopping us from going up. And so two things that I'm going to try to come up with. And I think that if we can have that as part of your routine, so yeah, I don't like range of markets, so I'm trading in range of markets exclusively, right? I'm looking for those, like you said. So I really like how you have given. Well, for me, a take back is the way to look at it and get and other things that I can be doing, right? Instead of those, to kind of take control, I guess is what I'm saying. I think that and have you found that that's an effective process, finding a couple things for each I guess I say negative thing, right, that we're doing and saying, and adding that die in. I guess, yeah, what do you think about the two, or should I do three, Duke?
Well, you do whatever you're inspired to do, okay? So for me, I wanted to improve in range markets, so I saw it more often, all right? But that's what I was focused on, improving in it. And now I can trade it really well. Okay, I know when to flip, when is it right away versus when it's counter trend in a range. Okay. But the point is, I enjoy the process. So before, when I was doing a simulator and I was doing the range markets, I was again say hate range market. Oh, I seem to just keep losing. Right. But if I focus on, hey, I want to improve in range markets, rewind and simulator, you know, and I'm actually looking for it. So that's the difference. Rather than avoiding it, right? I'm looking for it, and it's helping me. You know, it's happening for me. I'm learning from it. I'm focused on what I can control, you know, like, hey, I shouldn't load so heavy right here. Where's the better place? Where's the good entries? Where's the bad entries, right? Hey, where's the bad exits? Like I exited too fast or cut my profit too short, you know? Because most of y'all are like, oh, I hate cutting my profits short. Well, what is it then? What is it you want? I love letting my profits run, or I love maximizing my profits. Does that make sense? And so then you figure out where the best place to exit is. Okay. Or if you're saying, I hate my losers running. Well, what can you control? What can you change instead? So I practiced many times a simulator with higher stop losses, 10 pips, 5 pips. And I got more precise with it. Does that make sense? I got better at where's the breather versus, hey, where's the reversal? Right, recognizing those things.
And that's just one of many things, like with the simulator, right? That was one way for you to take control, give yourself exposure, constant exposure to those ranging markets, right?
Right.
Look for it. Videos, right? Training, all things that we can do, right, to take control of what we can.
And teach on it, because when
Teach
you
on it, yes, sir.
we'll quiz you. You know,
Yeah.
I'm doing these night classes. People are asking me, well, how do you know what's a good entry? And I'm having to explain it. And guess what? My improving has just improved. My trading has just improved. Because I know
it's really true. You know, the learn one, see one, do one, right?
Yeah. Okay. Do more buddies systems kind of thing. Right? If you enjoy trading with someone else and then being able to talk with them, then trade not alone.
I like that.
But if you don't like it, you know, you prefer just trading alone, then don't join class. Okay, there's many times David, he doesn't join Sean's live class. I don't either.
Yeah.
But I do watch it. I watch the recording. I want to learn from it. But when I'm live, I can't focus. Does it make sense? So do what you want instead. Okay, because in the recording, I love it because I can play it 2x.
Yeah, faster. Yeah, get through it. I can rewind and fast forward as needed. And I noticed you embraced also posting like trades that you had difficulties on, right? Some of those losing trades, and that could also be another thing for someone that, as opposed to a buddy, right? Be willing to post your bad trades, right?
Right.
We're going to help you, not hinder you.
You'll get the feedback, right? If you're saying I don't like to share my bad trades, again, it's a resistance. You won't learn from it. But if you say I want to learn from this, I'm welcoming feedback, or you know, other traders. Right? I remember Nick Spicer posted one of his trades, and then I reviewed it. Right? I thought, well, this is where you could have done better here and here and here. Or hey, did you see this coming because of this and this? And he improved because of that. Right?
Yep, yes, sir.
Okay, but again, it's not just the process, which is the reactions. You're changing your trading strategy or your execution, okay, or your analysis. What is it? You've got to change the cause, how you think and feel about that. So I don't mind losing in front of class. Why? Because I'm going to improve because of it. See, and many of you are too afraid of that. You're focusing on your fears. And I'm just saying, well, I know I have the fear, and I'm going to become and build courage because of it. I'm going to act in spite of the fear. I'm going to become better. Right?
Let that pain, that fear motivate you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never give up. Just like Brandon said. Get that little poster, right, of the kitten. Hang in there. Whatever it is. Find those motivations, right? So you can change that thought process. Word, thoughts, your attitude. I love it. Yeah, this is great. So what are some ways to change the attitude, good sir, you feel? And we can open it up for questions or
Well, your attitude starts with your words and your thoughts, right? Because if you say you hate something, you're more likely to be frustrated by it.
Mhm.
Okay. So, example, my kids are screaming. I'm like, I hate my kids screaming. And the moment it screams, easily trigger to yell at them, right? You get frustrated. So what do I say? Okay, I remain calm. And so then it's like when my kids are screaming, I'm like, okay, this is a great opportunity to practice how to remain calm. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Or instead of saying you hate range, you could say you find it challenging.
Well, challenge can have a negative connotation. Okay. But if you view challenge in a positive way, then yeah, so it's rather than saying
You hate.
it's challenging, because that's a negative. You can say, I challenge myself. I want to challenge myself in ranges, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, example, you take a loss. Okay, you feel losing. Well, what's the challenge? You start with a loss. So in similarly, I go and I start with a minus 1% loss. And now the challenge is to recover it back to break even. And then it's like, okay, I'm passing that now. What's the next challenge? Start with -1 loss, -1%, that is, and now recover it to +1%. So you actually have to make 2%. Okay, so now let's say you can do it in 4 hours or 6 hours in a day or something like that. Up the difficulty. Say, can I do it in 1 hour?
Yeah.
So I just lost -1%. Doesn't matter how much time. Now in 1 more hour, can I recover it to +1%? See, so if you view challenge as a positive like that, that's how you grow. You're pushing to grow. You say, hey, how can I learn from this? Does that make sense? And now you're not fearing it, because this is what I tell other traders. If you feel loss, you need to lose more in simulator, in demos. Because why? Here's the reason behind it. When I was losing 5%, I was frustrated. Then I was losing -10%. I was still frustrated. And then when I was losing 25%, and then when I was losing 50%, I was like, oh my God, that's a lot of loss.
Yeah.
Cutting at -1% isn't so bad anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's relative. Pain is relative. So when you're facing greater pain, the small pain of losing and cutting at -1% isn't so bad anymore.
But Duke, one other thing I find, as you said about the challenge, is that when you find that you have a challenge and you said when you go to the simulator and you practice that, one of the things I find is that I recover, but what did I do differently? And that's where I find my challenge. In not identifying what did I do differently that helped me to recover. And when I go to the simulator, that's where my challenge comes. So even though I recover, I must be able to identify what I've done differently so that when I go to the live account, I can apply the same thing.
Well, there's your first, the cause is that you said it's a challenge for you to identify what you did differently.
Yeah.
You gave up. But if you say, I want to,
No, I'm not giving up. I'm just saying I have to question myself.
I understand, but I'm saying mentally, because you said I have a challenge, like when I said I struggle with ranges, I was not trying to improve in ranges. I gave up mentally. Okay. But the moment David said, change it to I want to improve, that's when I got better in ranges. Okay. So if you say I want to learn from, or I want to identify what I did differently.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And what? Guess what? Try to teach a newbie how to do the same. Because if you're trying to teach them how to do something, you're really going to get it clear. Okay. So when I do my trading,
Try to teach what I don't know.
I think I'm going to teach how to take an inventory. That's going to be my next one.
What's in your control?
Yep.
If you don't know, who knows? Can you ask someone to help you identify? You see, reaching out for help.
That's
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's good. Reaching out for help.
Okay, what can you do rather than saying I don't know and just stopping there?
No, when you said teach, that's what I'm saying. Teach what I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So let's say now you can reach out to someone that you like and you trust, and you know they're better than you, and they're willing to help you. So they want to help you, and you want to learn from them. That's how you now improve, because they will start to teach you. And then when you start to teach someone else, that's when it really gets clear in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can identify, right? So like David talks about counter trending. Many of y'all don't know when to do it and when not to do it. And guess what? And similarly, I failed many, many times. And I started figuring that out. When to load, when to counter, when to exit. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely does. I like the inventory. It's already got my gears going about how I can take inventory to find those things, right? And then I can find a hopefully a solution, right? Or at least a moment of clarity so I can start reducing it.
And then you go into, like, let's say the live trading. Many times we're asking David, hey, is this where you exit? Because that's how we're getting the feedback. He'll ask, hey, where would you exit? And we would draw where it is. And then he would then explain why he would put it certain places.
Yeah, and
So
when you secure.
Oh, okay. Oh, whoops. Stop loss too tight, or oh, hey, stop loss too far away. You know,
Secure that trade.
Yeah, where would you
I'm going to secure those trades, and
exactly.
man, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start trading now. Jump into the market.
But that help. It's not just saying I struggle or I don't know, because you're gonna stop with that. Flip it around. What is it that you want? I want help with this. Who can help with this? Asking, what is it in your control? What is that you want? So if you want to learn from David, well, maybe he's not available. Is there someone else you want to learn from? You see, figuring out what's in your control. What is it you want? What can you do? And you're keeping it positive here.
Positivity, the positive, I'm going to say resistance breakers are twice as heavy, right? When we're using it on a day-to-day basis. And I know it's not only going to make me a happier trader and less stressful, but a better trader, right? And so I'm already trying to think about ways that I can improve my inventory of the things that I can control, right? Those reactions, and then ultimately those results. And I definitely appreciate it. Again, dedicating your time. If you're good with it, Duke, I guess we can open up for if there's questions.
Yeah.
Let's see. Great presentation. There's some comments. Josh says that. Absolutely about yourself in this field. And Joseph said, you know, you control the world when you can control yourself, like that. Let's see. Darren, hot seat trading started yet? I believe David opened it in the calendar. If you go to the calendar. Let's see. Anything else here? So Duke, I'm going to be reaching out to you. That's one of the things that I'm kind of more of a little bit of an introvert, right? Helping everybody, but don't want to help myself, and pick your brain about, you know, what certain things that I feel that once I take inventory, right, the things that I need to or will overcome, right? I will overcome these and get better with. But I'm kind of interested about kind of like specific process, right? That you've, and so, and then we could share that with everybody. Make us all better. Let's see. Jake said, yep, you said it, Duke, begins with me. So not a whole lot of questions. So that means we're all retaining this and going to practice it. Yeah, great job, my friend. Very informative. I can see myself definitely watching this again, and maybe on replay, right? So I can start being second nature with my words, thoughts, and my attitudes in a positive way. All righty.
This,
Anything else at the end, my friend? Yeah.
maybe if there's something that you're struggling with and how you want to overcome it, because if you don't know how, like what Cliff earlier asked.
I'm definitely going to be posting trades that I need to get better with and will get better with. I don't want to say losers, right? We're getting all that negative words out. Yes, definitely very informative. Again, thank you. Duke takes his time out of this, out of his day to help share some knowledge, new perspective on things. You know, he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart. Wants to see us succeed. And again, I know our community is fantastic. So I believe I don't know if David's announced anything yet, but you should be able to. You'll be notified if he doesn't open it. I think he's good. So I'll let you guys get to your hot seaters, get to it. And then like Duke mentioned, and like we're always I'm always suggesting and recommending sign up. You know, you want to get you will get better at something by teaching. And but yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Anything else? Closing words, my friend? Duke, closing words?
Just remember, it starts with you, right? You are the cause. So change your words, thoughts, and attitude. All right. The other things will only aid that, but it won't change the results because it's the reaction. Okay. It's not the trading strategy. It's not the platform. It's not the type of market. It's you. Okay.
And you also have the power to change it, right? The power is within you to change it. Man, very insightful, my friend. So always a great job. with that, I think we'll call it. Thanks everybody for all the comments, the questions, your feedback. It was a great class, and we will get the now let's get to applying these better attitudes. I know I am. So.
Jimmy, did you see my text to you?
Yeah, you can Discord me, good sir. Yep. So, no worries. All righty. You guys all have a great night, and let's have some preparation meeting. Our preparation meeting. What was it? Our opportunity, because there's no luck. So preparation meeting that opportunity. So, okay, guys, thanks so much. We'll talk to you, or we'll see you guys soon.